Hey guys, it's me, MavicJack24 here. Today, some of you might be wondering, Minnie, why are you filming a reaction video so late if it's like 9:47 p.m. for you? Well, as some of y'all may or may not know, I am actually currently on vacation in Europe, so I'm a few hours ahead of my usual time zone. So, by completing this reaction and hopefully getting it uploaded to a specific time for what's it called, just time in general, so that way it posts some point for the 11th for my usual time zone, like that I'm fine with. So yeah, anyways, yeah, let me begin by saying that I love Aliotta's channel, and personally, I think he's been doing an amazing job with the Muldoon logs, although I haven't checked out the latest log yet, because A, I kind of had a lot to do, and B, I also kind of forgot that one was coming out relatively soon, so yeah, anyways, without further ado, I just wanted to double check this. So Jurassic Park's copyright belongs to, well, Universal City Studios, LLC, and to Emblem Inc. Entertainment. And of course, the copyright itself belongs to Aliotta, who, I can't stress this enough, has been doing a genius job with this and has been making the Jurassic franchise actually feel a bit more fresh, new, like something interesting, something that's at least a bit better than what the Jurassic World films have been giving us. It's kind of something a bit creative, and yeah. Anyways, other than that, I have two other small factors just to go over. One, one, I was going to become a paleontology major. Well, I was going to go into paleontology for a career before I kind of realized that was more of a long-term hobby rather than like something I would want to pursue in career as a career. That's why I'm in film as a career, since I want to pursue it. Anyways, so I always keep up to date with a lot of paleontological finds and discoveries and theories. Granted, I'm not really up to date with anything that's more like within like the past week, or maybe like the past few hours or so, because some newspapers aren't, released right away, or given like, much material notice to the public. So I'm practically I'm a bit more of a paleo nerd, so I will be giving my perspective throughout this whole entire series and stuff. Without further ado, and I can't stress this enough, please go support the original video, which a link will be in the description. Also, to Aliotta's channel. Also, please go support him, whether that be both financial or just by watching his videos, liking his videos, commenting, helping the engagement with algorithm, and even possibly subscribing to his channel. Not saying y'all have to do that, but it would be greatly appreciated if you're able to show him at least some form of support and love from me, at least, because I really love this style of content, and plus, it's one of the few things I actively keep looking forward to throughout the weeks. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin with the Muldoon logs number 5. I believe this one's called The Spitter. Before anyone makes a dirty joke, I want to say that wasn't my idea for the title. But anyways, let's continue. Alright, so as I stated before in some of the other videos, if y'all are watching this from my playlist, first of all, congrats for finding my playlist. But secondly, I'm going to be stressing this enough. there is no such thing as Velociraptor antirophus, as the only other one that it because Velociraptor has two species, and currently the species are Velociraptor mongoliensis and Velociraptor. Oh man, this is going to be a tough pronunciation for me. And Velociraptor osmoskae, Skae? I don't know. It's Osmolskae, which those are the two, for now at least, confirmed species of Velociraptor. However, Velociraptor antirophus is actually not Velociraptor itself. In fact, it is Deinonychus antirophus, which is a completely different dromaeosaur. Put into comparison, if Velociraptor was standing next to a Deinonychus, the Deinonychus would be ragdolling the Velociraptor with no issue. Like, I mean, it might be an issue if it's a little bit more than a group, but that's anything with a group. But yeah. Anyways, Velociraptor, mongoliensis, and other species are about roughly, I would say, like maybe two to like about up to your knees, as like I would say a safe bet would be like up to your knees or like maybe a little bit over that, depending if you're not that tall of a person like I am. But yeah, anyways, so pretty much just gonna go over that with Deinonychus on the other hand, that's a 4 foot tall, like yeah, I would say 4 foot to about at least maybe 4 foot five tall animal, which that's still not the size as the Jurassic Park Deinonychus, which yes, I am aware that technically Jurassic Park and the Evolution games do have their own version of Deinonychus, but let's be honest, the actual animal that their raptors are based on, both in the novel and in the film, is Deinonychus antirophus, which, due to a paleo artist either name change or signing a paleo artist changed up the name for Deinonychus to become a Velociraptor that inspired Michael Crichton, who knew that Deinonychus was the actual name, but thought Velociraptor would sound much more intimidating, even though that Deinonychus means terrible claw. Anyways, I felt like I always have to explain that little bit of information each time I see this, because I want to clear up any information that people might have not known about or didn't even know that was true. And for the reasons why the Jurassic Park movie variants are more, well, I would say this. In the novel, the Jurassic Park variants are shorter than the movie variants. Like, they're more, it's more accurate to say, like, in the novels, the park raptors are more like 5 foot tall, like about like roughly 5 foot to maybe like 5'2" at the max. And the max, well, in the movies, they are seen as like about roughly 6 feet tall, but not nearly as long as other stuff. But yeah, anyways, the reason why, because a in the movies, Spielberg was actually asking around when he was making Jurassic Park some paleontologists. He got he got word of a raptor that was pretty big, although he like way bigger than Deinonychus, but and was nearly as big as a person. So with that information, he and his team managed to make the velociraptors about roughly that height and what they would presume to have been that weight. And in fact, due to this involvement, Spielberg actually almost had the scientific portion of Utah Raptor's name actually named after him, which actually would have been very nice if that happened, but we all know that that's not what happened at all. But the paper of Utah Raptor was made publicly released after the filming and release of Jurassic Park, which Spielberg didn't have that much knowledge on it. on it. He was just told like what I mentioned. Like there was a raptor tall as a person that was probably a little bit heavier than them, but that was unconfirmed at the time. Anyways, sorry for getting sidetracked with that. I just wanted to clarify that up because I see a lot of people oftentimes call it Jurassic Park Raptors, Utah Raptors, which is not true at all because Utah Raptor wasn't made publicly known until after both the book and the first movie were released. Anyways, let's continue.
Robert, there's no question that's a juvenile raptor. The one that Wu approved to join the original three.
Understood. No arguments there, Ray. My question is how the bloody hell did it end up in the mouth of a tyrannosaur?
That's a pretty good question, and I don't know. However, I do have to say... Oh no, I forgot that I was supposed to give this Rex a name. And I gave it a name and I forgot it. No. You know what? I'm giving you a new name because I forgot what I gave you in the last video. So for now, I'm calling you Juvie. Juvie. Yeah, Juvie.
Entirely sure, Muldoon. Can you give me a minute?
I need answers, Ray.
I understand, Robert, and I'm going to give you those answers as soon as I search for what...
I'm surprised that the juvenile Tyrannosaur just doesn't swallow up that raptor. It looks pretty much like a pretty good sizable amount that you can just swallow that in, but how come like that hasn't, been eaten already? Like I get it's done for, story and plot, but how come like actually I think I understand the reason. I think it's just that the juvie Rex wants to, make sure that the adult is nowhere nearby when she's got her first real kind of, not like a real necessary meal, but like something that's more than like the average, scraps that the adult would give.
Need first.
Can you do me a favor, Ray? Can you run a total animal count for me?
What? Why?
Just do it, please.
One moment. Total animals expected and found are the same. And before you ask, Velociraptor number expected, 3. Number found, 3. The computer has adjusted and accounted for the young raptor in the Rex paddock.
Marvelous.
You.
An ad. No. I'm sorry, but no, I don't need ads. I'm here trying to watch and react to the Muldoon logs. Please, my good ads, let me listen.
The computer can track home ranges too, yes?
The computer can give visual animal tracking data, yes.
Great. Show me where this young raptor was 24 hours ago.
Oh. That's why the juvie was walking away with its meal, because Roberta was in the tub. For those that don't know, Roberta is the novel name for the movie's so-called Rexy. And before you guys say, yes, Rexy is also the nickname of Roberta in the book. But just to make this simpler, I'm just going to call Roberta, and Juvenile Juvie, just because they're two separate T-Rexes.
Sorry, Muldoon, I'm getting some sort of error. It's saying no data available for the last 24 hours.
Try the 24 hours before that.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's odd. Same thing. Must be a bug in the code or something. I'm scheduling a visit from a computer systems analyst in a few days because sometimes the computer shows some anomalies that are impossible. So we're still working on refining.
Can the computer tell me when the raptor count went from 4 to 3?
Yes. It says September 1st.
September 1st? That's when she was transferred to the enclosure. That doesn't
That's strange.
make sense.
No, it doesn't, Henry.
There's definitely a coding issue with these computers.
You're telling me?
I did manage to pull up the home ranges of the raptors on September 1st. It says
Wait, let me go back. Sorry.
managed to pull up the home ranges of the raptors on September 1st.
Yeah, seems like she's enjoying a
It says
meal.
all 6 raptors are present until about late afternoon. 6 become 5, and that's when Muldoon, you spotted one dead in the enclosure. Several hours later, the tally drops to 4. That's the raptor that got electrocuted. And then...
No, that's not right.
What do you mean?
The raptor.
Wait, sorry guys.
The raptor that got electrocuted. And then...
No, that's not right.
What do you mean?
Is that fish? Hold on. Sorry guys. I just want to see this.
In the enclosure. Several hours later, the tally drops to 4. That's the raptor that got electrocuted. And then...
No, that's not right.
What do you mean?
The raptor that got electrocuted died on the night of September 2nd, not the 1st.
That's a discrepancy, obviously.
I agree, Wu, because the next day, September 2nd, the tally drops to 3.
I was under the impression that there were 3 raptors present by the evening of September 2nd, after the electrocution incident.
So
Yeah, that actually brings up a good point, since I'm pretty sure out of all of the people here, I'm pretty sure Muldoon has the most, knowledge of the situation with the animals. Because, well, he's the game warden and actively, goes out in the field and checks stuff up. If Harding was on the call, maybe he could help, help prove some parts of Muldoon's points slash concerns, and also, help back up Muldoon. But yeah, his other two, both Henry and Ray, both are computer people and are, in the labs. In the labs away from the outside of the park, which notoriously in novels has been proven to show that it always ends in a bit of a situation where the people in control effectively aren't necessarily knowing of what's going on.
what's the problem?
What's the problem? Let me list them for you, Henry, shall I? 1. You approved the transfer of a raptor to an enclosure without my knowledge, potentially putting lives at risk. 2. There was a 4th raptor in the enclosure on September 9th. And 3. The young raptor in the Rex's jaws right now was supposed to have died on September 1st, according to the computer.
Muldoon.
Why has it taken 2 weeks for this issue to come to light? And it only has come to light because I witnessed it. Aren't the computers meant to alert you to changes in animal numbers? Unless the computer is correct and the young raptor you transferred did in fact die on September 1st, and we're looking at an animal that is unaccounted for altogether.
What are you implying, Robert?
I don't know what I'm implying, to be honest. Perhaps that young raptor is not the raptor you transferred.
What? So you're implying that a group composed entirely of female animals will breed?
I don't.
I mean, I hate to say this, but as much as I would like to say ignorance is bliss, but yeah, it's possible. I mean, asexual reproduction is not completely out of the question for the animals in Jurassic Park. Not to mention that they can, change change biological gender and from male to female given the environment. So it makes sense, although that's partially due to some of the gene editing that they did with some of the other distant relatives, such as like lizards, birds, and also with amphibian DNA, to parts of the genome which makes most of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park about, I would say, like about 90 to 95% accurate, just missing a few of the genes that are filled in by the modern relatives. Since they use a few different methods to help get the genome and that, but yeah, no, this is definitely confusing. And for those that haven't read the novel, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's the raptors are definitely more than what they appear to be, and also, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that Aliotta's series for the Muldoon logs is like a combination between novels and films, which I really appreciate because I personally like both mediums and actually like having my cake and eat. And well, I'm not sure if eating it too is the correct term for it, but you get what I mean. I love both.
Answers for you, Henry. I only have questions.
There's no unauthorized breeding in Jurassic Park.
Yes, I understand that.
You want confirmation of that, Muldoon?
It wouldn't hurt.
Attain that young raptor before the Rex consumes it. I'll take.
I'm surprised that the Rex hasn't consumed it yet. Juvie, what you doing? Eat the food.
And prove to you that's one of ours.
Oh, never mind. Run. Roberto's on your tail.
Avec la
Sorry, guys. I get jump scared. Well, at least the ad's in French this time. Guess there's no hiding where I am. I am for vacation, and that's France. Beautiful France. Sorry for that ad jump scare, guys. That startled the hell out of me.
Okay, Arnold, we've reached the transport gate at the north of the paddock, requesting clearance.
Yep. Hold on to your butts. The computer is locating the Rexes.
Robert Muldoon, Game Warden of Jurassic Park, Tyrannosaurus Rex Paddock, Isla Nublar, 14th of September, 1991. With me, Robbie and Tony. Tony will be driving, or perhaps in this instance, dodging, and Robbie is responsible for reloading the needles and acting as an extra pair of eyes, which in here, you definitely need. Today's task is tranquilizing the juvenile tyrannosaur. Arnold, how's it looking?
I've got visual confirmation of both. The adult is far in the south, but the juvenile is almost directly straight ahead of you.
Understood.
Clearance granted. After you enter, the gates will be locked behind you. You need to give control to word before the gate will reopen on your exit.
That makes sense, and that is quite honestly a pretty good safety precaution.
Stood.
All right. Eyes open all the time.
You're clear, Tony.
Let's go. Muldoon and the gang.
She's about 1 mile directly ahead of you, Muldoon.
Rightio. Tony, 12 o'clock.
Yep.
Keep her slow and steady.
She's right at the tree line, Muldoon.
Understood. We're in her living room now. Juvenile won't look like much, but don't let size fool you. Younger animals are faster, sloppier, and they bite first and think later.
As much as I hate to admit that he's wrong, he's right. A lot of juvenile animals, especially carnivores, are going to be, well, testing your limits first before thinking through said thing. And it's often why a good chunk of carnivores tend to, get killed off during their juvenile stages because they flew a bit too close to the sun, per se.
I want a clear shot to the neck. Tony, the moment I give the signal, slow the Jeep to a roll. When I make the shot, pull back, and then we wait. The good thing about the tyrannosaurs is you don't have to go looking for them. In here, they'll come to you.
Half mile, Muldoon.
Eyes wide open, both of you. Arnold, update on the adult's location.
About 4 miles on your 2 o'clock. You're good.
Excellent.
She's moving, Muldoon. The juvenile. She's at your 10.
Expected. Ease us left, Tony. That's it.
Quarter mile, Muldoon.
Got it.
There! Ooh.
Good work, Robbie. Arnold, Robbie's made eyes on her. Keep yours on the adult.
Gotcha.
I have to say, this is interesting because now you're going on safari in the original park. I have to admit, I think I think if Hammond wasn't so, peaceful or pacifistic, I think the plot for, like, for example, like, with someone like Roland Tembo and, like, Robert Muldoon, well, I mean, Roland would be the one hunting the Rex, obviously, but, it's like, could have made, like, a prehistoric, hunting game trail, like a place where hunters will go to hunt prehistoric life for a pretty hefty fee. But they also get the most challenging work that they would ever get to experience. So, and yeah, that actually sounds something that could actually have been a pretty good thing.
A dash, she's decided flight, not fight. Probably because she wants to keep that prize in her jaws for herself. Tony, I want us parallel with her, but give her enough distance so she can come out from the tree line. I want her away from the trees. When she comes out, I'll take the shot. The last thing I want is for her to injure herself, go thrashing about out of fear and disorientation. Tiring her to a slow jog would be ideal. That way she can drop on the spot.
And now.
That's it. Keep some distance. She's definitely tiring.
Keep running. Run.
Easy.
Run.
Easy, Tony.
Run, Juvie. Run. Run. And now.
Line me up with her neck, Tony. Boom.
Ooh. That is a good shot. Ah, why is there another ad? Sorry, guys. Didn't mean for that to happen. No. Why am I given these ads? I don't want ads. I want to keep watching.
Arnold, what's your reading on the adult?
She's far, Muldoon.
All right. Keep her on your screen and notify me if she moves.
I'm watching her.
Good. Tony, keep the Jeep running. I'd like to document the tranking. Stay sharp. Your eyes constantly scanning. If you hear the ground shake or feel the Jeep rock, you know what to do.
Yep.
Now, that girl really didn't want to get caught. But that's understandable, since she doesn't get much feed when the adult is around. So she must have felt very protective of her kill. But that raptor is mine now, and I know whose desk I'll be throwing it on, that's for sure.
I have to say, that is a big ballsy move to, well, if you collect it and throw it onto the desk of Henry Wu. That would be a power move right there.
The juvenile tyrannosaur was tranquilized with a standard animal trank used in zoos worldwide, Moro 709, designed to slow something big without stopping its heart. It works on the nervous system, and it takes a little moment to really bite. The launch is heavy, but the payload is heavy, and that's deliberate. One solid hit where the muscle's thick gives us a chance to end this without her charging the Jeep. Moro 709 is the difference between control and chaos. Moro 709 is measured for mass, not age, and juveniles metabolize quicker, which means the window's shorter. Here we've got an animal that has just completed a several-mile dash, so we've got adrenaline and other stimulant hormones coursing through its blood at the moment, hastening the drug's action. Animal dose is partly body weight and partly temperament. You shoot the same dose of 709 into an elephant, a hippo, and a rhino, you'll immobilize the elephant, so it just stands there like a statue. You'll slow down the hippo, so it gets kind of sleepy, but it keeps moving. And the rhino will just get fighting mad. But on the other hand, you chase a rhino for more than 5 minutes in a car, and he'll drop dead from adrenaline shock. Strange combination of tough and delicate.
Interesting. Also, I know I'm not the only one thinking this. I would totally pet the Tyrannosaurus. I I hate to say it, but the human instinct of wanting to pet an animal is going to take over, and I want to pet the Tyrannosaurus.
Update.
She's still far.
Good. You know what, Ray? While she's down, you should ask Harding to give her her quart of dental. Hasn't it been 4 months since the last? You've got a good 3-hour window, as long as the adult doesn't approach. Maybe have him check her muzzle for lacerations from the electric fence incident yesterday, too.
Good idea. I'll call him now.
Okay, let me find this raptor. Here we are. I don't really know what... It's a velociraptor, all right, and a young one, just as Arnold said. I just don't know how the Rex got to it. I don't get it. This wouldn't have happened if that damn Henry Wu wasn't making foolish decisions, like introducing new animals without discussing it with the ground team first. Okay.
I have to say, I will agree with Muldoon. Without discussing any transfers of new animals to the enclosures with the ground team is a dangerous and deadly error that can cost lives. Muldoon and his crew were lucky that nothing went wrong, but just because it happened once with luck, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen again.
Okay, let me think. Wu said that young raptor was introduced into the enclosure on September 1st. It's the 14th today, and this doesn't look like the decay and decomposition of something 2 weeks dead. In fact, it looks fresh. Wounds look fresh. I don't want to touch the thing, but I assume it's warm, either because rigor mortis hasn't set in yet, or because it was in the mouth of a panting tyrannosaur running several miles. Either way, I'm not convinced this thing has been dead for much longer than a couple of hours. And on top of that, a Rex is not going to eat fortnight-old roadkill. Yet the juvenile Rex is...
Actually, I would say any meat is free meat, especially if you're a giant carnivore that needs a lot of meat to go on. But it's like, well, I know the juvenile's not an adult, but an adult would still, eat that little bit of a snack. But for the juvenile, this would definitely be a bit more of a. I'm not sure what the right term for would be, but it's like maybe the first course of like a free course meal, maybe.
off scraps and perpetually hungry, so I wouldn't put it past her.
Why has Murabi not come yet?
It just doesn't add up, and this enclosure is so large it'd take weeks to do a deep area sweep to look for any sort of answers. Much the same needs to be done with a raptor enclosure. Is there something we've missed? Something allowing the passage of a raptor from its enclosure into this enclosure? And if so...
Muldoon!
Christ, Arnold, is the adult approaching?
No, not that.
Then what?
Muldoon, the computer is showing there's a velociraptor near you.
No.
Wow, that is. I mean, I have to say, that is impressive. Wow, who knew? Thank you, Ray, for the update.
You don't say.
Not that one, damn it. There's one about 300 feet to your left.
What?
Muldoon?
I'm here, Ray. Can you see it on the cams?
I can't see it, but the computer has recognized it as a raptor.
I would
But
say
that's
it's within
impossible,
this
right?
Area.
Improbable, but never impossible.
Agreed.
Robbie,
Yeah?
get back in the Jeep.
You okay?
Go, now! Ray, give me a count of the raptors.
Yep. It says 4, Muldoon.
Explain that to me, Ray.
Either the computer is buggy or it's counting the dead raptor.
Wu didn't release a whole pack of them into the Rex paddock without telling anyone again, did he?
Let me look into this. Give me a minute, Muldoon.
I have to say, if any of y'all haven't read the Jurassic Park novels, the total animal count is only reliable to, well, the amount of animals that are looked in at the program. Meaning, like, when it's manually changed the amount of numbers of raptors that is seen there, it would only show, the amount of animals that you're looking for. And when that goes on, they're trying to also figure out what would be a good way to explain this. Also trying to figure out like the population numbers, but due to the population being fixed at a certain point and not, raised any higher, it doesn't really show that there's, more animals than what they actually expect. However, there are some animals on the island that are exactly, the same amount that, are shown there. I believe the main two examples for this would be just the T Rex and maybe the different pterosaurs. I forget exactly what they were in the book, but it wasn't Pteranodon. Pteranodon is like the films and the later movies would depict, but no, it wasn't that.
Ray,
I'm just looking at this, Muldoon.
what do you see? Because I see no raptor.
This is a little out of my depth. 1 minute.
How does the computer know it's a raptor?
Image recognition.
An image of a 6-foot tall theropod.
Essentially.
Tell me how the computer distinguishes between the Hypsilophodons and the Othnielia.
If I remember correctly, give me a sec. I gotta recheck. Yep, so. Actually, wait, what's this? Yeah, no, Hypsilophodon is a valid species. As I was just checking that there was, something else about it because there was something else mentioned in other paleontological videos about it, but yeah, no, it is a real creature. Now, give me a sec, just to double check. Oh, whoops. Wrong creature. I looked up. No. Alright, Ophnelia. Let me see. Alright, yeah, it's no longer. Is no longer considered valid. And let me check what it's being reclassified as. No longer. So. No, alright, so. Ophnelia. Then. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, I know this is no longer considered a valid dinosaur. Just show me what it's now called. Sorry guys. I need to keep looking for. Oh, here. All right. So, give me a sec. All right. So it happened to have been renamed to Nanosaurus, meaning Nanosaurus agilis. So, yeah. All right. I knew one of them was a different name. I just wasn't sure which one it was. Yeah. So it was later discovered that Nanosaurus was that all of the other creatures within kind of that category that was described at the time of 1877, were all synonyms to Nanosaurus, which kind of actually makes this a bit interesting. Anyways, sorry for that little pause and like nothing as I was looking up which creatures were valid and which weren't.
Virtually identical from a physical standpoint.
Like I said, Muldoon, a little out of my depth. As chief engineer and computer systems manager, I'm overseeing power distribution, security systems, and automated controls. I'm not a programmer and systems architect. I don't create the software. Oh, wow.
What?
The raptor count is back to 3.
What the bloody hell is going on with your damn computers?
I'm just reporting to you what I see, Muldoon.
Pour rester frais en toutes circonstances, men
Oh my
tonic.
goodness.
Efficace
That
caraputain.
was
Men
a scary jump scare. Come on, I want to just go watch my thing. Can I not watch it? I'm sorry, guys. We have to go through about some ads with this. Sorry about that. Let me rewind just only a little bit.
On with your damn computers.
I'm just reporting to you what I see, Muldoon.
Is it possible that the computer... Christ!
Muldoon,
Blasted monkey!
are you okay?
What's happening with the raptor count, Ray?
Ray,
So a bug in the system, then?
I guess so, Muldoon.
Right.
Sorry, Muldoon. The computer showed me that there was...
I think the biggest problem with this park is how much faith everyone is placing in computers.
Agreed.
Seeing things with my own eyes will always be better than relying on any computer. You can
I also agree with that, even to this digital day and age, where stuff effectively not physically possible in 1991 was, done. Other besides, like being able to, for example, be able to view television, being able to see stuff like that. But, like that would, but it's always better to, not place your faith all blindly into one kind of source, It's better to go out, view it with your own eyes, and come to your own conclusions. So, and also, I do believe that Robert does have a solid idea of what he's talking about. Since it's safer than sorry, to be checking out stuff, and I check. And last I checked, a game warden like him is practically very good.
control everything, especially nature. There's just too many... Holy...
Oh my goodness. That is not a good thing to... Well... See? Muldoon,
Keeping
go.
your eye on the Rex, Ray.
Oh, you good?
Go.
Must go fast.
Yeah. Tony, push. Pedal to the metal.
Put your foot down, Tony. You can't just stroll down the road, Blimey failure of the mission. No
Roberta
raptor had left
is
the juveniles
pissed.
sedated on the ground. Good thing we got the adult far away from her. I've said it how many times, that adult is fiercely territorial. And seeing our jeep in her enclosure must have infuriated
Senor
her.
Muldoon,
Yes?
I need you urgent at the Jungle River Cruise, please.
Oh, this is strange. Well, I know why.
He fell in.
He fell in.
Si, senor.
That's no
Was
good.
he drinking?
No, senor. The animal hit him.
The animal hit him.
With
He
what?
screamed, he no see, he shake, and then he stop.
Right.
Down there.
What's his name?
Ooh.
Manuel.
Manuel, can you hear me? You said the animal hit him?
Si, senor.
How?
It spit on him.
I wonder how he knew it was spit. But yeah, that was interesting. Anyways, that was a pretty fun little cliffhanger for next time. Anyways, so once again, if you guys enjoyed the video, please, and I do mean this, please go over to Aliwada's channel, give him, watch the original video, support him, leave a like, comment down below, and for him, join his membership if you guys are able to. I'm not going to force any of y'all to do so, but it would be appreciated if you're able to do so, and so that way we keep getting more amazing videos like this, and also more stuff that I get to have fun watching in my free time, because it honestly, I just like having something that kind of explores new possibilities for a franchise. It's just something that I personally find pretty fun, and also pretty cool. Anyways, I'll see y'all next time. As oh yeah, once again, all of the copyright for Jurassic Park belongs to Universal City Studios LLC into Emblem Entertainment Inc. And once again, all of the copyright for channel belongs to Aliwada, and also links to her original video into Aliwada's channel will be in the description. And I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.